Hi, I'm Bonnie Barker with BonnieBayCrochet.com, and today I want to show you how to make the Easy Beginner's Bobble Baby Blanket. This is a lot of fun to make. It's very easy, and I think new beginners can pick this up very quickly, and it'll add a new tool to your crochet toolbox. Well, if you haven't already, I would like to ask you to please hit that subscribe button right there on the video, and that way you won't miss any more projects that I have coming your way. And if you hit the little bell, that'll kind of guarantee you get the notifications of things that I upload. And if you hit the thumbs up, that tells me that you like the project and is really great feedback for me to know what I need to do more of. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and get started.
For this project, I'm using color changing yarn called Candy Stripe. This is by Premier Yarns. This is made of 100% acrylic yarn. And here are the stats on this yarn. 260 yards per cake, or 5 ounces, 238 meters, or 140 grams. And you are also going to need a crochet hook size J, or 10, or 6.00 millimeter. I'm also recommending that you have a yarn needle handy, as well as a pair of scissors. Let's go ahead and get started. We will start this project with a slip knot, and do make sure that you leave a nice size tail so that it would be easy for weaving this in once we are done with the project. Now we are going to chain 91 stitches. I like to chain in groups of 5. It just makes it a lot easier to not lose track when you have such a large number. So I'm going to go ahead and do these 91 chains. Starting for row 1, starting in the 4th chain from the hook, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to work a double crochet in that stitch, and then we're going to work a double crochet in each of the chains all the way across. Okay, when we are done, we should have a total of 88 double crochets plus the turning chain. This is what you should have at the end of row number 1. Okay, for row number 2, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This 4 chains counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. Okay, we're going to skip the first stitch right here, and then we're going to double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 1, skip the next double crochet, and double crochet in that next double crochet, just like this, all the way across. Skip the next double crochet in the next. Make sure we go through all the strands. Chain 1, skip the next double crochet, and then double crochet in that next space, just like that, all the way across the row. Row number 2 ends by working a double crochet in the last double crochet of row 1. We are not going to be working in the chain 3 of row number 1. Okay, now we're going to start row 3 by chaining 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. We're going to skip the first double crochet, and in the second, and we're also going to skip that chain 1 space, and in the second double crochet, we're going to work a bobble. And this is the way this is worked. We wrap the hook, insert the hook into that double crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We're going to do that 4 more times. Wrap the hook, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. I should have 3 loops on the hook at this point. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we have 4 loops. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 more. So now we have 5 loops. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 1 more, 6. Once you have 6 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all loops, and then chain 1. Okay? Now we are going to skip the chain 1 space, and then we're going to double crochet in that next double crochet, just like that. We're going to chain 1. We're going to skip the chain 1 space here, and we're going to work a bobble in that next stitch the same way, just like we did before. We do, it's kind of like working 5 double crochets but halfway completed. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on that hook, yarn over and pull through all 6 and give it a chain. Skip this chain space here and then double crochet in that next stitch. Okay, and we'll do this one more time for you. Chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, wrap the hook, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Do that a total of 5 times. So that was 1, that was 2, that's 3, 4, and 1 more, 5, until we have 6 loops. Yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook and chain 1. Now let me show you something here. Notice that these kind of don't look like very good bobbles. Well, this is because the back side is actually facing you at this point. When you turn it over, they really do pop a bit. And this is going to be something really fun for the baby, I believe, texturally, to observe and also to feel. A friend of mine had a baby, and I made her a baby blanket with a lot of bobbles on it, and she just mentioned that the baby just loved, you know, touching these and playing with them. So it's something that is very amusing, very entertaining for the baby. Okay, so I'm going to do this one more time. After we've chained 1 at the top of that bobble, we're going to double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, skip this chain 1 space. Notice that we're only working in the double crochets, not in the chain spaces. And then work that bobble, which is doing this 5 times. Okay, until we have 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all those stitches and chain 1. So go ahead, this is what the front side would look like. Go ahead and work that all the way across. At the end of row 3, we finish working the bobble in that last double crochet, chain 1, and then we are going to work in not this first chain but the second chain here. Go ahead and work a double crochet in that turning chain. Now I like to grab 2 strands there just to make it a little on the stronger side. Let's turn, and you can see the texture there, and this is going to be nice as the yarn changes color, so you're going to have different colored bobbles as you go. Okay, now for row number 4, we are going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to skip the first stitch, and we're going to work a crochet in the first bobble, just like that. Now you can crochet, I'm actually crocheting in the section here. It's just to the left of that chain 1. Then we chain 1. We're going to skip this chain here, and we're going to double crochet in that next double crochet like this. Chain 1, and then double crochet in that next bobble. Chain 1, skip the chain space here, and double crochet in that double crochet. So as you see, as we go along, we're working 1 double crochet in the bobble and then 1 double crochet in the double crochet with a chain 1 in between. So go ahead and work that all the way across the row. So row 4 is worked all the way across, chain 1, and just like we did at the end of the last row, not this chain but the top of that chain 3 right here is where we put that last double crochet. Let's take a stop and look at what we have here. Okay, so that's after 4 rows. Now from this point on, we are just going to repeat. I'm going to show you row number 5, which is similar to row 1, except that it's worked in between the in the chains and the double crochets. I'll go ahead and start this row for you. We're going to go ahead and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to skip the first stitch here, because this stitch takes the chain 3 actually takes the place of it, and we're going to work a double crochet in that chain 1 space, and then a double crochet in the next double crochet, just right there in that chain 1. You don't have to actually work it in the chain itself, but just, go into that space just like I did there, and then into the next double crochet, into the chain 1 space, and into the double crochet. Whoops, let's bring all of the loops through. There we go. So that's what we are going to do. So now what I'm going to have you do is, after you finish row 5, you're going to go back and repeat rows 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the duration of the blanket. Okay, so let's take a look. This is actually with the front side facing, because the bobbles are going to pop that direction. Okay, so go ahead and repeat that, and I'll have the number of rows on the bottom of the screen. After working this all the way across, we're going to work a double crochet in that chain 1 space, and then we're going to work one right at the top of the chain 3, just like that. Okay, so we have just completed row number 5. Now, like I said, from this point on, we're going to be repeating. So this was row number 5. So now we're going to go back and we're going to repeat rows 2, 3, 4, and 5 over and over again. And I'll just give you a little start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 4. This is starting to repeat row 2 down here. And we're going to skip that first double crochet. And remember, this chain 4 counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. And we just work the double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, and then double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, and then double crochet in the next stitch. So go ahead and complete rows 2, 3, 4, and 5 over and over again until you complete the length of the blanket, and I'll put the number of repetitions right down there so that you can see.
Okay, I've repeated this pattern until I have 12 rows with the bobbles, and I'm ending with the row on the bobble up here. Okay, this blanket now measures 27 inches by 27, and I'm really happy with the colorway and the way that it's just kind of coming out naturally. It really does make projects like this so much easier because you don't have to hide all those loose strands. Okay, well, I'm going to show you how to finish this with a bobble edging. So I'll go ahead and give you a close-up view.
Okay, I've gone ahead and ended this blanket on a repeat of row number 4 here, as you can see. Now this is how I'm going to finish my blanket. As you can tell, we have a lot of edges that are not so even, so we're going to take care of that right now. I just turned my blanket 90 degrees, and I do have the bobbles facing the bobbles, poking upwards. That's going to be the front side facing. So I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and what I'm going to do, I'm working along the row ends. We're going to work 2 double crochets just over the entire stitch there. I hope you see what I'm doing. Okay, 2 for every row end. I'm going to do a few of these and just show you how it really evens out those edges. I think you're going to like this. And I think once this is done over the entire, around the entire perimeter of the blanket, it's going to look really nice. And then we are going to add another row after this. Okay, so you see what we're doing here? We're going to just do that all along the row edges. Okay, I've worked this all along the edge, and I'm really liking the way this is coming out so evenly. Now I saved the last row right here. This is the corner, and what I'm going to have you do is work 8 double crochets in this corner. This is going to round it out a bit. 4. It's going to seem like a lot, but I think it's going to be fine. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so that rounds out that corner quite nicely. Now what you're going to do is across the bottom, we'll go ahead and skip that first stitch there, but go ahead after that and we're going to work a double crochet in what's left of that foundation chain. You should see 2 strands left of that, and go ahead and work 1 stitch in each of those across. And let me show you what you're going to do when you get to the other corner. Okay, we're going to work double crochets, 1 in each of these stitches all the way across. When you get to this double crochet here, you guessed it, you're going to work 8 double crochets in this corner, and then just like we just finished doing, 2 double crochets in each of these stitches all the way around or up to the next corner. And this next corner here, we're going to again 8 double crochets in that corner, and then we're going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch, which means 1 double crochet in the double crochet and 1 in the chain 1 space, 1 1 1 1, all the way until you get to where we started, which was right here. And when you get to this corner, this is the last chain 1 space because we haven't worked the corner yet. I will show you how to end this, and just to give you a little preview, we are going to work 8 double crochets in this, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch to that first stitch of the round, and I'll be sure to show you how to do that. Afterwards, we're going to begin our bobble row all the way around the perimeter, and then we'll be done. But I'll go ahead and finish what I just showed you, and then I will show you the connection. After working those double crochets all the way around the perimeter of the blanket, I came to that last space like I mentioned before and worked 8 double crochets right in there. Now I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the top of that first double crochet. Now we're going to turn, because as you recall, you need to have the bobbles worked with the back side facing, because they kind of pop out backwards, or towards the back, towards the front side. So now we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to skip the first double crochet here, and I'm going to work a bobble stitch in that next stitch. Remember, 5 of these half made double crochets. Hope I didn't just confuse you by saying that, but you've gotten this far, you've probably got plenty of these under your belt. 6 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through, and go ahead and give it a chain, and then we're going to skip the next stitch, and then we're going to work a double crochet the next stitch, chain 1, skip the next stitch, work a bobble in the next stitch, like so, yarn over, pull through all 6 loops on the hook, chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet in the next stitch. Let's take a look and see how this is looking on the other side. And so we're going to work this all the way around. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, bobble in the next, oops, okay, and 5 of those, 6 loops on the hook. Go ahead and pull it through, give it a chain, skip 1, double crochet in the next, chain 1, and I'll do one more for you. Skip the next stitch, and we're going to do a bobble in the next stitch, make sure you have 6 loops on there, chain 1. Let's turn this way and take a look at what we have. So we're going to have these bobble stitches going all the way around the perimeter. So go ahead and finish that all the way around. Okay, after working this all the way around, I did work the last bobble right next to where the chain 4 was started, but that's not really a problem. Now you may have an extra stitch here or so. Just work it out at the end as best you can. I mean, I promise this is not going to be showing. And then I'm going to work a slip stitch in the third chain of that chain 4, and I'm going to end this here. Go ahead, make it a chain, give it a tug, and go ahead and clip that strand. And now I'm going to show you how to hide that, but before I do, let me show you the other side and the way these bobbles look around the edge. I just really like this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for the baby. But let me go ahead and show you how to hide this loose thread. You should have several of these probably after connecting the different yarn colors. So go ahead and thread that needle like so. And I'm going to bring it down actually into the bobble. I'm actually going to run it under. Make sure you can see that under all of these threads. Okay, and then I'm going to actually bring it up a little bit further and through a few more of the threads like this. And I think this, and actually let me bring it under again. And I think that's going to be pretty well hidden. And I'm going to clip this close to my work, but make sure you don't clip those stitches. Okay, and that is how you can hide the rest of these strands. Okay, let me go ahead and I'll show you how this looks.
Well, I hope you enjoyed making this easy beginner bobble baby blanket. I would love to hear from you if you did. If you ever want to join me on Facebook, you feel free to post any pictures that you've made on that page, and it will, show others your work and me as well. And I just love seeing your work. Well, that's pretty much it. If you haven't subscribed already, I just ask that you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so that you get the notifications coming your way. Well, that's it for now. God bless. Bye-bye.